What movie did you start watching then said fuck this, I'm not finishing this? Last year's Cats. I lasted 30 minutes and then I immediately left the theater. Human faces on roaches creeped me the hell out, as did whatever else I saw in that time frame. I saw Cats in a packed theater and we all were laughing and making fun of the film. It was one of the best movie-going experiences I have had. Zombosaurus. I love herbivores that are amusingly bad. Ghost is a particular favorite. But Zombosaurus, bought for £1.2 from my local Asda, was so bad I couldn't finish it. Mean Girls 2. Well, I'll just pretend like that movie never existed. It bothered me because the girls weren't even bullies in that one like the first. They just did straight up crimes they could have gotten arrested for. The only memory I have of it was that they all looked about 12, no idea of the real ages they were supposed to be, but they were making fun of the main girl for being a virgin. None of them looked or acted old enough to know about sex. Going Overboard. Adam Sandler's first movie. It's amazing how it didn't end his career before it started. This is the sort of public service announcement we need when we are quarantined. Hearts and Armor. Corrected. I have absolutely no excuse other than I paid $1 in the Blockbuster bin for it and needed to win the worst movie contest with a bunch of friends on Fantasy Movie Friday. I won. I still win with it. I still haven't watched all of it. Note to anyone who attempts to watch it. Whenever the blonde heaves her bosoms, tosses her hair, and yells let me fight him, I'll fight him, take a drink and you'll be dead before the end of the film. So you'll be out of your misery anyway. FYI, you don't know bad cinema until the bad guys have the evil henchman in a sword and sorcery flick is wear a spangly rooster costume fight chicken style alongside the guy in a sequin top hat surrounded by knives and boaty on top of an ape suit. Yup, folks, it's that bad. And I own it on VHS. Hearts in Armor. Now I quite like this one, but there's no getting around the fact that it's a very strange piece of film. It's like somebody watched Excalibur and said we need to do this, but with more of the weird, mystical shit. The most recent Underworld movie. It was a lot more soap opera and general incoherence than anything beyond saving. I feel the same way about the Underworld movies as I do the Resident Evil series. I know by and large they are pretty garbage films, but I will watch any film in either series and unquestionably enjoy the shit out it. I'm kinda person who can totally appreciate a form over function film. I have no problem admitting why I love the Underworld series. Werewolves, vampires, and most importantly Kate Beckinsale in leather. 50 Shades of Grey. I was out as soon as she walked into Christian's office and tripped over nothing. Cause, you know, she is just so quirky and clumsy. I didn't see the movie, but I tried to read the book. Pro tip, don't. It's a shame that pulp is what sort of mainstream BDSM in our generation. I would have hoped something better would have had the honor. I highly recommend reading the Jenny Trout Reads 50 Shades series of blog posts. Jenny Trout is an author and she read through all the 50 Shades books chapter by chapter and ripped them to shreds, but in an informed way. It's a very funny read imho. Here's chapter 1. http jennatrout.com/?p=3208. It will give you the experience of reading the book without really having to read it. Much like videotaping a friend getting stitches gives you the experience, but not the pain and hassle of cutting your own finger with a razor blade because you're too lazy to get up and get the scissors to open that USB drive packaging. Ugh, I felt that. Edit. She signs in, gets a Vasatoria's pass, and heads upstairs to the second steel and glass and sandstone and steel and more glass and mahogany and red and yellow and pink and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and violet and gold and chocolate and mauve and cream and crimson and silver and rose and azure and lemon and russet and grey and purple and white and pink and orange and blue lobby. I wish I could tell you that I just used more adjectives and words than James did to describe this sequence of events. I'm many things, but I'm not a liar. I giggled. Thanks for the link. This is pretty entertaining. Edit 2. So younger and attractive. Very attractive. Hair's tall. Dressed in a fine grey suit, white shirt, and black tie with unruly dark copper colored hair and intense, bright grey eyes that regard me shrewdly. Tarto vertical bar is one hell of a tie. I am going to have to ask someone Please, look into the kindness and the goodness of your soul and Photoshop me a picture of a black tie with Robert Pattinson's hair and eyes stuck on it, gazing at me shrewdly. Fuck, I'm dead. Edit 3. A reader actually delivered. http://wp-content/wcontent/upload/2012/04/chedwood-taiwan.jpg. All hail the internet. If you have any stories, please share them in the comments section below. Years back, I used to love the no effort parody movies like Epic Movie, Scary Movie, Superhero Movie, Meet the Spartans, etc. Until I watched Scary Movie 5. When 5 came out, I couldn't see it immediately at the time, so I forgot about it and rented it years later. When watching it, I realized none of the jokes were funny because they all relied on referencing and parodying the horror movies of that time which were no longer relevant. It was a slog, and I turned it off and returned it halfway through. Out of all of these, I still maintain that Scary Movie 3 is funny, but that is largely down to Leslie Nielsen. I remember thinking the first Scary Movie was fucking hilarious, though I'm not sure how well it'd hold up. I'm pretty sure it's been a minimum of 15 years since I saw the original. The first couple really do hold up. Dragon Ball Evolution. A Serbian film. It is awesome how bad Dragon Ball Evolution was. That nobody says anything about Serbian film as long as it is next to it. You know what to expect from a Serbian film. You do not expect your childhood memories to curb stomped hard. You think Eric cannot be that bad. There it is. A Serbian film. You hear one detail about it and nope out immediately. I read the synopsis of a Serbian film on Wikipedia and struggled to just finish that. No way I'll watch the movie. The Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly movie Era Holmes and Watson. In the screening I went to, thanks, Dad, I watched a whole group of 14-year-old boys hightail it out of there in the first 20 minutes. When the least discerning movie audience of all time up and leave so soon. You know it'll be amazingly bad. 50 Shades of Grey. OMG yay. And there was such a hype about it. It was one of the worst things I have ever seen. Like a platform for bad and awkward acting. Jiggly. I thought it might be comically bad. But no. It was just the moldy cardboard of movies. Made it through about 35 minutes before I realized that I was actively thinking about other things and tuning it out. So I turned it off. The Emoji Movie. It was almost a parody of every CGI kids movie. My son is autistic and gets super fixated on random things for periods of time. Ripping paper, compass directions, weather, power lines, etc. He watched the Emoji Movie on Netflix one day and become obsessed with drawing emojis. I had to watch this pile of garbage movie every day for like 3 months. Thank goodness he moved on eventually. Lol. I am lucky. My son chose Moana to fixate on. It is a lovely film and I am not sick of it yet. 1000 viewings later. If he had picked something like Emoji Movie, kudos to you for your patience. I miss my son's Moana fixation. Even Minions was pretty okay. He's now fixated on movie end credits. Like just the last minute that displays logos of Dolby Atmos, MPAA, etc. Why do people even put it on YouTube? Why? I was hoping for a feel-good goofy movie and saw a word or one season ago while browsing Hulu. After reading the description, I assumed it would be something like Arahoni. I Shrunk the Kid so and went for it. It was nothing like Arahoni. I Shrunk the Kid so. In fact it was 2 bad movies combined in a single script. One good concept, spit roasted by sweaty Hollywood executives who did not get it with starving screenwriters collecting the bow suite. The original script was a lot more interesting / weird. I kid you not, there is a scene where a corrupt politician is talking about how he loves shrunken prostitute women doing tiny shits on his chest. The Mummy 3. I love the Mummy series and Brendan Fraser is awesome, but my god, that was a hot pile of shit and the only movie I ever walked out of in a theater. I noped out as soon as I saw that they replaced Evie like it was no big thing. She had been my favorite character. Brendan Fraser and Wiseau chemistry is what made that movie. Sometimes 2 actors just click on screen and you cannot recapture that with anyone else. Do you swear? Every damn day. I envy people who have the ability to walk away from bad movies. I just gotta finish even when they're shit. Same. I gotta know what happened to these terrible characters that I don't care about. Every pornographic movie I ever started, I was interested, really interested. Then suddenly I lost all interest and felt nothing but shame and self-disgust. Inside. It's a Spanish slasher film about this woman who wants to steal a pregnant widow's fetus. I've watched so many gore-fest movies to boot, and for some reason this one just totally took it to the next level for me, and I couldn't handle it. I actually got quite close to the end and I just couldn't finish it. Edit. It's French, not Spanish. Thanks to those who pointed this out. Close bracket. I find that some of the horror that I find most unsettling has strong roots in terrible things that happen in real life. It just brings it closer to home for me that this scenario is something that actually happens. https://n.mwikipedia.org/wiki/fetal_abduction. From time to time, the stalking in the film, fetal abductors sometimes go so far as to *actively befriend the pregnant person. Just imagine seeing someone you thought was a close friend coming at you with the intent to cut you open and steal your child. The Robin Hood movie from a year or so back. The bad guys have machine gun crossbows. It's fucking bizarre. Edit. So this comment got a bit more attention than I was expecting. For anyone that hasn't seen it and is curious, the first scene has Robin Hood in the Crusades where the Crusaders wear modern gear and flak jackets, and they hard around a bombed out city clearing houses with longbows half drawn at the shoulder, like they're spec ops dudes, but they get pinned down by an automatic ballista that's basically a machine gun nest, but it's okay, because they fire a flare arrow over it which calls in an airstrike from some nearby trebuchets. I didn't hate this as much as some of the people replying, but the whole thing was so goofy and stupid that I couldn't be bothered finishing it. Zoolander 2. Wish I could say the same. Eragon the movie. Nuff said. It was actually that film that introduced me to the books. I watched it, thought it was okay, found out there were books and bought them. About a year later I decided to rewatch it because I had fond memories. Wow, it was bad. I only got about halfway in before I quit. Avatar: The Last Airbender. What you did know it enjoy watching Aang and his friends Katara and Sokka acting super serious and depressed. Even if you ignore that it butchered the source material, it's an objectively terrible movie. Because it's not a movie about the whole series. It's a movie based on the play they are watching in the Fire Nation. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Huge fan of the books, but cold note make it half an hour into the movie. Literally walked out of the theater. After watching it, I just consoled myself watching the emails Rick Riordan sent to the movie's director, in which he politely rips the script a new one and proclaims, among other things, this script not only doesn't work as an adaptation, but as a movie in its own right, and predicts fans will leave the theater in droves. What a guy. Met him at my local Booker's & Co. for a book signing when the new edition of the 5th installment came out. Thanked him for his time and said, sorry they butchered your vision. He nodded and said, Adarine Tuahu. Absolute legend. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe for more content.